Good morning, everyone. Our sixth Sunday in Ordinary Time from the book of Sirach. If you choose, you can keep the commandments. They will save you. If you trust in God, you too shall live. He has set before you fire and water. To whichever you choose, stretch forth your hand. Before man are life and death, good and evil. Whichever he chooses shall be given him. Immense is the wisdom of the Lord. He is mighty in power and all-seeing. The eyes of God are on those who fear him. He understands man's every deed. No one does he command to act unjustly. To none does he give license to sin. The word of the Lord. Our second reading from Paul's first letter to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, we speak of wisdom to those who are mature, not the wisdom of this age, nor of the rulers of this age, who are passing away. Rather, we speak God's wisdom, mysterious, hidden, which God predetermined before the ages for our glory, and which none of the rulers of this age knew. For if they had known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. But as it is written, what eye has not seen and ear has not heard, and what has not entered the human heart, what God has prepared for those who love him. This God has revealed to us through Spirit. For the Spirit scrutinizes everything, even the depths of God. The word of the Lord. Lord be with you. Reading from the Holy Gospel, according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. You have heard that it was said to your ancestors, 'You shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment.' But I say to you, whoever is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever says to his brother, 'Racha,' will be answerable to the Sanhedrin. Whoever says, 'You fool,' will be liable to fiery Gehenna. You have heard that it was said, 'You shall not commit adultery.' But I say to you, everyone who looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. It was said, 'Whoever divorces his wife must give her a bill of divorce.' But I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, unless the marriage is unlawful, causes her to commit adultery. Again, you have heard that it was said, 'Your ancestors do not take a false oath, but make good to the Lord all that you vow.' I say to you, do not swear at all, not by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Do not swear by your head, for you cannot make a single hair white or black. Let your yes mean yes, and your no mean no. Anything more is from the evil one." The Gospel of the Lord. Matthew's Gospel is written primarily for Jewish converts to Christianity. Matthew tries to highlight the relationship between the world his listeners grew up in and the differences introduced by Jesus. Our Gospel for this sixth Sunday, which is part of Matthew's famous Sermon on the Mount that began a few weeks ago with the Gospel on the Beatitudes, has Jesus speaking about never abolishing the law or the prophets, but coming to fulfill them. Jesus' attack of the scribes and Pharisees is what made them go after him and try to put him to death. The book of Sirach writes about God's giving humans the freedom to make their own decisions. Sirach tells his readers that God gave us a free will, made us responsible for our choices. That freedom does not guarantee that our choice will be a good one. St. Paul tells the Corinthians and us that God's wisdom is grasped by grace rather than intelligence. Jesus tells us that adultery is a problem, but then goes a step further and says that lust is the bigger problem. Murder is a problem, Jesus says, but anger is the bigger problem that can lead to murder. False oaths are a problem, but anything that misleads others is a bigger problem. Jesus calls his followers, you and me, to go beyond the legalistic morality, to truly be his disciples. We never see Jesus being upset with struggling sinners, prostitutes, tax collectors, but he was very upset with those hypocrites, the scribes and Pharisees who followed the legal laws of the day and imposed those laws on everyone else. We truly do have choices in our lives, people. We can choose fire or water, life or death, heaven or hell. Choose wisely. A mom cannot get the ketchup jar open, begins to bang the bottle on the counter to loosen the top when the phone rings. She asks her 4-year-old daughter to answer the phone. She hears the girl telling someone on the other end, "Mommy cannot come to the phone right now. She's hitting the bottle." Have a good week, everyone. God bless.